Uh, well, we had very sad news since our last interview. Um, Three hip hop figures passed: DMX, Black Rob, and Shock G. Now, you and DMX have been around each other. I don't know the extent of the relationship, but there's pictures of you two together.
Yes, we made a movie together.
Ah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's
Which
called
one?
Never Die Alone. It was
Aha.
a Donald Goins book. The first Donald Goins book, who used to write very urban stories for the people. It's the first Donald Goins book made into a film. Tiny Lister was in that film. Clifton Powell, early Michael Ealy, Aisha Tyler, David Arquette,
Right.
myself. It was directed by Ernest Dickerson, who also directed Juice.
Aha.
So he has worked with Tupac and he has worked with DMX. So yeah,
Okay.
we've been around each other. I've been in the studio with X before. I've ridden in a car at 100 miles an hour down Wilshire Boulevard with X before. We've been around each other.
You know, I remember talking to Michael Jai White, who did a movie with him as well. And he said the one thing that he remembers is how heavy the drinking was. He didn't see any of the drug use, but he said there was a guy there whose job was to just keep pouring Hennessy for X. And he couldn't even understand how he was able to even function.
Love DMX, man. We became instant friends. That guy he's a very wise soul. Again, like
he's very
Jean-Claude.
Intense, very intense in person. I've interviewed him before. It's a mile a minute with him.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, and it's weird for me because people who indulge in certain substances or whatever. I'm such a neophyte because I've never been drunk. I've never been high a day in my life. So when people are drinking or whatever, I don't even know how to take them. I'm kind of like
DMX does more than drink.
Yeah, I guess I don't know, but you know, like I am so like out of my depth in what that is. When the times where we have talked, where I guess sober times, I can see him for the person that he is, and to me he's a very wise and just he's a very smart, insightful dude. I think you study his lyrics that you can't hide the integrity and the wisdom that he has.
His first two albums are amazing. What do you remember working on set with X?
Well, I have several memories, and liquor is a little bit of it, but he introduced me and my niece, Mika, to this Louis the 15th something that's got a crystal top that you could actually redeem somewhere because it is literally crystal. And so he introduced us to that in the trailer, not to excess, just to I've never had none of this. Yeah, let's try some of that. We've smoked some weed together, but I never saw anything else. And my experience with working with DMX in any capacity has always been stellar. We shot at night, though. He wasn't really a day guy at that particular time. Mm-hmm. I remember that one of the nights that we shot, one of the evenings, so our call time was usually like 3 or 4 in the afternoon. We were shooting down at like one Wilshire where I had this like fake bar because I played a bartender named Jasper in the film Never Die Alone. I remember one of the days that we were working was actually a Mother's Day. And a big truck arrived with dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of red roses. And he made sure that every mother on the set got flowers.
Wow.
I remember that.
Wow.
I remember that he used to like to race remote cars around. And he was really into that. And there was always a car running past your feet or something like that. And I remember that he did a stellar performance in the film, and it was a gangster-ass film. It was not comedy. It wasn't a motherfucking funny thing about it. A lot of people got killed in the film. I did not. And it was one of my first premieres I ever went to as well, because the premiere was going to be in New York for Never Die Alone. And I remember I flew myself to New York. I got myself a hotel. I took a cab to the event. I had on a fur coat. It was cold, everything. And he was looking amazing. Tashira was there, one of his sons. I think Xavier was in the movie. I think his name was Xavier. And that was one of the first premieres I ever went to. It was very, 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 very exciting.